Yo, what's up, YouTube? This your boy DC The Truth. I said, I was gonna upload on StreamYard, with no camera. I like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pull my camera out. I haven't moved yet, so as you guys can see by the title, why it's rent so high. Hey, that has something to do with me as well. And I'm gonna just basically just touch on. It's not just rent being high. The whole housing market that's it's ridiculous right now, the whole housing market bubble, as they call it. So I've been here binge watching on YouTube a lot of professionals speak their piece on the breakdown of the housing market and this bubble, what it's gonna do, how it's gonna keep increasing, and then finally, the boom, the collapse. One guy explained it like it's like basically the reason why it haven't crashed yet because it has something to do with a bank. That's like the part A, the 1A of it. Then of course the B portion of it, you're gonna finally start to see the crash. But there was something interesting in that was said about one of the videos I was binging on. He said like from the month of April to May, it was the highest ever recorded price hike in rent all over. And I know some of y'all still may wonder like, why are you even doing this video? I'm gonna get to that later, how that affects me, my little studio that I purchased, just not purchased, but I rent just to make these videos in, and some shady practices of landlords. Now we all know since the pandemic and that C virus hit, we know a lot of people went from, especially if they work in a office building, a business setting or anything like that, that they went from that to working at home. And what had happened was a lot of those people that stayed in the city and put up with that high rent, a lot of it was just probably convenience because they were closer to the job and it just made more sense for them to be in the city. So now since the pandemic, a lot of these people moved to the suburbs or maybe rural areas. Y'all may even find them in your areas as well. Now, where I stay in a suburban area, the hood ain't too far from me. It's like a street down, turn down, bam. There's the hood right there. And so even with that being said, like let's say apartments, for example, there's apartments on the lit program, which means low income tax credit housing. So even with those type of apartment or homes, they have to kind of be under whatever the market rate is. But this bubble being so high that even rent for them is gonna be ridiculous. And I know of friends of family even talk about like how rent is increasing, like when it's time for some of them to renew their lease. It's just ridiculous despite what's going on. It's almost like this country has failed us. Well, us, we just other people that's surprised. So let's touch on, I said, a lot of people, they're working at home. They may be moving into some of your suburban areas, and then even places like the hood think they can properties that's in the hood think they can do this price hike too. Okay, their business. We'll see how that work out for you. Especially if you're not trying to gentrify the neighborhood, those people are not gonna stay with all that rigmarole that goes around in the hood. I don't think too much of them like to hear gunshots and deal with that. To me, that's just like that's waking up to morning roosters or something like that. This is back when I was in the country. So now I'm a country boy that's been in the city a long time. So that's like I had a Pakistan Uber driver one time. He was like, man, this reminds me of home. I like gunshots, screaming, and all this. But anyway, and before anybody say something, well, it's some people on here like, well, why you even stay so close to areas like that? I'm gonna tell you this. This is it's a saying that live below your means. Even these financial advisors here you catch on YouTube, they would tell you the same thing. They would say something like live within like 30, I don't know, 30 or 50% of the income, whatever they say. Especially now, especially for millennials, Gen X, whatever, that, when we hit retirement age, there's not going to be any retirement. So they say that so we can put money and invest in ourselves for, whether that's through like 401k, or, you doing your own investments. Really, you should really be doing your own investments in yourself, because let's say, well, if there's no retirement, you got your own money that you invested that, you can retire on. And then my last statement here is I'm gonna get into like the shady practices of leasing agent, without going into a deep story about my personal situation. Like in my case, what has happened? Okay, the leasing agents for the studio here I rent. Like I always say, I have like two homes, really like three homes, because my most of my family is here in Atlanta. So, but I'm barely not eating. I'm not barely not even home anyway. A lot of time I come here just to maybe just to get away and think for a while, or a lot of time I just come here just to make a video and be done with it. I really don't spend a whole lot of time here. So in my current situation, my lease had expired, right? Under the old management. Therefore in that leasing agreement say I would, go month to month. Of course, the new management want to present me with a new month to month, because see what what they would end up doing is they would have to charge me whatever the market rate is, and the market rate for this studio for this area was quite ridiculous. So what I did is, the new me going month to month would have just been $100 more. They didn't see it on their end or whatever until it refreshed in the system that I signed the new lease, and they're looking like, oh hell no, we can't get this market rate from him. And y'all know, like anybody that rent properties, or if you into real estate, y'all know, as a tenant, at least here, in Georgia, like I say, I don't know the laws abroad everywhere else. You don't have no reason at all. You don't have to renew anybody's lease. You just like, hey, so that's why I'm moving on short notice, and I'm not in the fucked up predicament, but I always got somewhere to go. But it's quite an inconvenience as far as me, like my game streaming, things of that nature. I'm always gonna be able to make videos, even if I have to Derek Jackson y'all ass and get in that damn car and push out some content. But it just sucks. It just sucks. Like one of my hobbies or whatever, live streaming, gaming or whatever, that might be put on hold to, this is over. Because if y'all guys remember the whole eviction protection, it really didn't, people still owe rent. And then a lot of times at these property, they was giving notifications for people to have like promise to pay their rent and things of that nature. Now, the eviction protection is gonna expire at the end of this month. Right now, currently, it is June 9th, Wednesday, 2021. At the end of this month, there's no more eviction protection. And then there's some shady tenant leasing companies is already kind of figuring out some new loopholes to evict people. But that protection is going to disappear. And I really feel sorry for the like millions of people that's not going to be able to pay their rent, and they just going to have to go somewhere. But with that being said, though, like I say, with every great rise, there will be a fall. And so with this, they realize a lot of people really can't pay their rent, due to the pandemic. Some of them, that needed unemployment, and it just didn't happen fast enough for them. They're going to realize, as like I said, I was binge watching stuff, that bust is going to happen. And guess what? Everything's going to return to normal. That's part of the reason why I say I really hate that, my side gaming thing, although, I have picked up some other activities, like, I'll start going back to the gym now. So, haven't been doing it as much, but, I still do love the game when I can. But, So yeah, y'all, this kind of a different video for me and kind of update, you know, what's going on with that channel. I know ain't nobody really subscribed to it, but but I had planned to kind of find somewhere I can post, like if I'm talking about gaming content, post it up here and then say for more. If anybody can do that for me, man, help a brother out. Like for more, subscribe to my gaming channel. Like, you know, I'm talking about the content, but I can cut it and, you know, just have them, you know, for more, subscribe to gaming with DC the Truth, you know, and that'd be it. But yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything. What the rental and housing market doing. How April and May was the highest it was ever recorded of rent increase. And you know, of course, people moving don't have to be in the cities anymore now, because a lot of their jobs might be automated, or what these companies gonna do, those CEOs are gonna outsource it overseas. And then even places this not the best places to live in are trying to get in on a rent hike too. So all right, y'all, this is a different video from me, a little living, finance, whatever you want to call it. It's your boy DC the Truth, man. I'ma holla at y'all. For real.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is he my friend or my foe? I'm a exit draw. Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at all this, silly, I'm bought, damn me. Baby's yellow, text.